Welcome back, Kult of Athena blade reviews. We got the Hanwei folded steel Zatochi sword, and this one's a munitions grade. So we have the munitions grade available on the website right now, cultofathena.com. We're gonna look at some specs on this one, up close looks in the scabbard, out of the scabbard, and then we'll run over the tatami and do some cut testing. Let's get to it. All right, overall length of this blade from the very end of the handle to the very end of the tip here is overall just straight at 39 inches. Blade itself, actually the single edge sword here, is a 28-inch single edge blade. A little bit of a lip on the end of it. And you'll see as we get a little bit more up close, and we will get more up close with some contrast, you can see the folded steel, how the edge hardness is different than the actual spine of the blade. That's how they want to construct these. Feels really good in the hand. You'll see that the edge is actually, with the folded steel, the edge is a little bit different hardness than the actual spine of the blade is. This one is supposed to be disguised as a walking stick. So if I was to take a couple steps back, doesn't really look much like a sword, at least not from like an untrained eye would see. This one is a rosewood. So the actual handle is flush. You'll see the little line here where the handle ends. The handle is flush with the scabbard. There's a good amount of retention on it, but I wouldn't bet on it as far as like holding it upside down. We do want to look at, it comes with a really nice sword bag. And if I just very quickly tie this up for the sake of the video, this is what it looks like in the sword bag. So, nice sword bag. Nice way to carry it as well. If you were to store this, also works really well. Overall weight on this one is 1 pound, 9.6 ounces. Single-handed blade, easy to cut with, which is the primary with this one. You also have the direct thrust for that as well. 7 3/4 inches from the guard. So if I kind of balance this one out, further from the guard, so 7 3/4 inches from the guard for this one. What I like about this one too is how flush it is for aesthetics. You'll see you have 2 little notches right here that are carved out so that you know exactly what side the edge is on. That's really the whole reason why. That way you're not drawing it with your palm down and the edge is toward you. If you have the 2 notches on this side with the forefinger, you know you're drawing the blade with the edge forward. And then final detail I want to go over is grip length. So grip length is 10.5 inches. So you could go, if I set this down on the side for right now, you could go double hand with this, no problem. You can go double hand with this, no problem at all. If you're cutting with a 2-handed grip, or if you are using a single-handed grip as well for that. Let's do some up-close looks in the scabbard, out of the scabbard, and then we're gonna do some cut testing on the tatami. Let's get to it. So you'll see the 2 notches I'm talking about and that line that runs around the entire handle of the scabbard. That way you know where the actual end of the handle is. You'll see some up close of the rosewood in the light. The bottom of the scabbard, this is the bottom of the scabbard. It's flat, you get to see that. Not as finished as the rest of the scabbard is, but it's not a super big deal. Again, the handle's flat. Really, truthfully to me, even though it says a walking stick, it just looks like a boken. So as we can see, even for munitions grade, Hanwei has some pretty sharp blades. One thing I do like about it, not just the handle, I do like the actual shape of the blade. Let me get up here first before I show it a little bit wider. For a straight sword, cutting power is pretty damn good. Pretty easy to follow through with bigger shoulder slashes. Didn't feel like the blade was gonna move. Where I'm wrapping it, we have the pin right here. That's where my forefinger is wrapping it. So I'm like maybe 2 fingers distance away from the top here. All right, so thanks for joining me for this blade review, the Hanwei folded steel Zatochi sword. Took us a look at some specs on it. Up close looks in the scabbard and out of the scabbard. Then you saw how powerfully it did on the cut testing. If you like blades from Hanwei, all different cultures of blades that they offer, not just ones like this. They have Viking swords and other really awesome items. Leave me a comment and let me know if you want to see stuff from Hanwei. Subscribe to the channel, like